In response to how I explain Glennon's addiction from a theoretical perspective, I would say that after learning more about Glennon, I would likely explain her addiction from a cognitive behavior theory. This theory is based on thoughts, beliefs, and expectations. Glennon drank alcohol and used drugs as a way to escape her reality, as her belief was that she needed it in order to be accepted, loved, and not judged. Beliefs are similar to lenses that we look through as they impact how we perceive others and others around us, while also having a direct correlation to how we behave and ultimately who we choose to become. Glennon felt that she could not quit drinking, and she didn't believe she could stop using. With this in mind, every sip she took of a non-alcoholic drink could have reminded her of the last time she enjoyed drinking alcohol. It could have turned into a self-fulfilling prophecy for her. The idea in her head could have been that she would never quit drinking, and with that notion so prominent in her mind, the temptation was stronger than ever, thus persuading her to drink even in times she would not have typically drank. Another theory that could apply to Glennon's addictive past could be the biological theory. Biological models of addiction place a strong emphasis on the biological makeup and genetics of an individual. As Moss and Dyer point out in Psychology of Addictive Behavior, our genetic makeup can affect how we respond to a drug. Glennon enjoyed the way she felt when drinking alcohol and doing drugs. She felt as if life's problems went away, and she felt free from judgment, free from shame, free from pain, free to enjoy life without worrying about a thing of the world. It is likely the alcohol and or the drugs she used responded with her specific genetic makeup, and she liked the chemical reaction she felt as a result of drinking or abusing drugs. Which theoretical understandings of addiction are most useful for understanding her situation? By examining the biological theory as it relates to Glennon's past situation, we understand that the biological impact of her using drugs and drinking alcohol was so great that it created a deep addiction for her. We know that the genetic response to certain stimuli can create certain feelings within a person. The stimuli created as a side effect of the alcohol and drugs allowed her to escape from reality, ignoring the problems of life while allowing her to live under a facade of being a strong and confident person when the truth of the matter is that she was weak and frail underneath. Understanding this theoretical approach, we know that addiction recovery would be focused on self-honesty and truth about one's genetic makeup and what vulnerabilities that they have. Individuals such as Glennon must understand what vulnerabilities exist in order to know how to abstain from addictive substances and or activities. Which are least useful? Explain. Based on what we know about Glennon, no such information was given about her social environment when growing up. Based on our limited knowledge, I would say that the social learning theory would be least helpful in understanding her addiction, as nothing that was shared in her video or her blog attributed to a past where she had poor examples as a child. Using this theory to base addiction recovery off of would not be of benefit, as the focus would be solely on the undoing of any learned behavior from former external influences. Though she was a child when her addiction began, she did not allude to being influenced by parents, teachers, or anyone that she looked up to as being the reason she resorted to using drugs and drinking alcohol. Basing recovery efforts on the social learning theory, treatment goals could include the addict developing a new, healthier network of peers, adopting positive coping skills of these new peers, and learning refusal skills in order to respond to peer pressure effectively. Since Glennon did not allude to this being a contributing factor that influenced her to drink or to do drugs, using this approach would be futile.